Hey everyone, welcome back to the Den Fireworks. Today's video, we are going to do Ante In with Magnus Fireworks. This is a 16 shot, 200 gram cake that comes packed 24-1. So usually when it's a 24-1 case count, they're a little lighter on comp, I found. So I decided I am going to go all in and play with this cake some. Because I'm going to demo one. I'm going to demo the three of them 50 feet apart so we can see how big the breaks actually are and how the timing is. And then I'm going to show you with the last four what I kind of like to do when I'm messing around with some 200 gram cakes and make a little consumer compound cake without using much fuse and not having to worry about timing. So on the side, we just have theme effect is brocade crown. It's 7 out of 10 for volume, 22 seconds duration, 60 feet, 3 out of 5 for pro index. I mean, that doesn't mean a whole bunch, but that side does look pretty. Now, taking the top off, we can see that we've got filler packed in here. And they could have shrunk this down and had these 16 shots in a lot smaller space, or put in 25 shots in this cake instead. So that just goes a little bit more towards that 24-1 case pack deal, you know? But I have enjoyed Magnus, and even their smaller stuff has been solid. So, like I said, we're going to do one. Then we're going to do three more of them 50 feet apart. But then you say, you still have four more of these cakes. And I do. And what we're going to do is we're going to tape these together and turn them into one little chain of cakes that goes off. So, we light our fuse here. Okay? Actually, we'll get a little bit of better look at this one. Just so we can see the fusing and make sure I'm going to do it the way I want. So if we look, here's our light fuse that I'm going to poke and put a match into. The fuse carries along down here. This is probably faster fuse to keep it going at the same pace. And then we go in, and it's going to go down and around and across and over and across. So what we can do is we can take our poke and we can put a hole right in here, just like we were going to match the cake. But instead, I'm going to cut some white fuse. I'm going to put that into the hole. And just so we don't lose any black powder, I'm going to put a little tape down there. Right? And then we're going to take this next cake in the line. And I'm going to put this fuse right into the lead fuse on this. So then this first row is going to fire, and it's going to light this cake. So then the first row is going to fire on this cake while the second row fires on this one. So we can just take this, give it a little poke, and put that fuse right into there. And just to kind of keep this together while I'm moving it around, just because I'm moving it around a lot for the video, we'll throw a little bit of tape there to keep it together. I'm going to tape the whole mess up after. And normally I don't worry about that, but I'm not bouncing it around on a camera all the time. So now This cake's first row is going to be firing, while the first cake's second row is going to be firing. So we're going to start this other one a little bit sooner. So we're going to go into the second row here. Cut it open, but I want to make sure I don't cut that other fuse that's connecting. Although, actually, you know what? We'll start this one a little later. Why don't we go on the third row on this one? So we'll go in the third row here. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to poke it. We're going to take some white fuse with our anvil cutters. Jam it in there. Tape it down. We're going to go to the third row on this cake and stick that right in. So when this third row is finished, it's actually going to light up a couple rows on this one. And you can do this with your cakes anyway and just go into the last four. And that's normally how I do cake boards. So I don't have to worry about measuring the tape so much. I'll still put in some safety or reserve tape that will catch up the other cues in case one of these lines breaks. But it will save you so much time on timing out and measuring that. So now this guy, that white fuse, goes right into that hole. And like I said, because I'm flipping this all around, I'll just do a little bit of tape to hold this together. And then, where do we want to go in on this one? Well, I actually reversed them, so we're going to go into the... So, I'm not really sure where it's going to go. But if that's going to light this row, why don't we have both of these rows light up our next cake? Because we don't just have to have one lighted. We could say this row and this row. Because I'll be flipping this side over, let's give it a little tape. And we'll give it a little tape. We'll expose those same two sets of bores. And when you know how a cake's gonna fire, that makes it a little easier to plan. I have no clue what this cake does. I really don't know what this is gonna look like. But I thought, you know what? I have 24 of them. Why don't I have some fun with it? So we get that white fuse in the bores. And then I tape these all up into pods anyway when I go out to the field. And we're just going to do that now to keep these cakes all together. So a little bit of tape around this way, keep it all in tight. We put some right across the bottom. And we have a budget 64 shot cake that is going to alter the pace. Not really sure what it's going to look like. This might be cool. It might completely stink, but it didn't take long. And I do have 24 of these to play with. So why not play around? Let's take all of these cakes out back, see if I upped the ante by making a baby 200-gram compound cake for about 6 inches of fuse, or did I bust on the river? Thanks, everyone. Ante In. Times 3. Pod. Ante In. Times 3.